good afternoon, everyone. Good evening to Honorable Agalis, and Honorable to Director of ICE, and all the staff and teachers that are present here in Monrovia ICE, and our dear audience that join us on Zoom meeting right now. Hi, how do you do? You're doing great. I hope that you are doing great today because this is the time that we are waiting for. Give applause first of all. I'm so excited because today is International Scientific Talk by ICE 2024. Don't forget. Will accompany you as a moderator to today's IST episode. So, today we are so lucky because we mark our last day in 2024 with our beneficial agenda. This is a bit special because of that we can end our 2024 with a very beneficial and worth waiting agenda. So, let me introduce our special speaker today. Today is Miss Ivy Priyawati. She's one of brilliant and gorgeous teacher in ICE. So, today Miss Ivy will deliver you about artificial intelligence and English language, a systematic literature review. Wow, that's a very relatable case in nowadays, okay? Are you ready for today's IST, guys? Without further ado, I present you our gorgeous speaker, Miss Ayu Priyawati.
Introduction. It was very exciting. I think we are all ready for this topic. So we are going to talk about AI and English language teaching. This is a systematic research review. So we will talk about research that have been conducted between the year 2024 until 2023. So 10 years before this year. I think this is an interesting topic because as Ms. Maya has pointed out that it is something that we can relate to, and also I think we have at some point feel like the use of AI is something taboo. Haven't we all think of that? That this is a form of teaching. It's like cheating. So we have a simplified version of something that we create, that we don't actually create, but the machine created. We just input some words into it. Now, in English language teaching, actually AI is the most, language teaching, especially English, is the most researched topic related to AI in teaching. So, more than other subjects actually. So this is why this is an interesting opportunity, a very good opportunity for us to develop ourselves how to use AI in specifically language teaching. So the context will be the first one, introduction. What is considered as AI? I think we all have kind of a blurred image of what AI is Google Translate AI or is it only ChatGPT? So we will talk about it further. And the next one about research. So we will talk about the research, the purpose, the methods, and the findings. Next, we will talk about the benefits and challenges of AI in ALT, English language teaching, or and learning. This is really straightforward, the benefits and challenges. And the next one, the practice application. So we will talk about the evaluations of how AI is used in practical teaching. The next one, we will talk about the introduction. What is considered as AI? So, according to Quality 2016, AI is described as a machine that uses language from abstractions and concepts solve problems that are for humans and improve themselves. So the key point is that it is something that we use to taboo to be talked about. It is cheating, but it is not. It will be detrimental to students' learning ability because they can get things instantly. In here, actually, AI is a new opportunity for us to enhance our teaching technique. Now, how is AI being used for ALT or L? The first one, we will talk about all of these categories of AI application and platforms that is used for this education. The first one is translation. Now we know translation, we have Google Translate and maybe Amazon Translate. So these days we have actually Google have developed neural translation machine, meaning that they don't just translate word per word without relating one word to another. So this new generation of translation goes one word to activate the other words that relates to that word. So we can get more contextualized translation rather than jumbled words fitted into one sentence. Now we have this to compare the traditional translation machine and the neural translation machine. As we can see, Google from the very first time it was introduced, Google Translate, and then how Google Translate has been developed today. Next one, adaptive. I think we all have experience, or we all have heard at least about Duolingo. So in Duolingo, they don't teach English, just they give, for example, for tenses. They don't give formula and the students have to make a sentence, but they make the student adapt to the new vocabularies given by the bird, the Duolingo. And then the next one we have voice assistant, and probably you know, Alexa, and etc. It can help students to have a conversation with the machine. So we as humans, as teachers ourselves, we have limited ability. We have our accent. We have because we are not native speaker of English. We have our accent. But using voice assistant, their accent is standardized, meaning they use English American accent or British accent. So the students can know how to pronounce things and how to interact in real life instead of just relying on us. Because yeah, we human, we make mistakes sometimes. And then chatbots, I think this is the most important AI. We have ChatGPT, Copilot, etc. They have developed very much that we can ask them to do almost anything, and then they deliver what we need. And then pronunciation. If you ever heard of Elsa Speaks, yeah, Elsa Speaks. So students will be given a task, and then they will have to speak or read it or make produce words or sentences, and then Elsa will give feedback on is it correct or is it incorrect. So they will know which part that needs to be improved. And then lesson design, content creation, and assessment. I think both of these can be got from chatbots. So we just ask them to make a lesson plan for today, how many minutes, and etc. And they will give all of that details. And then assessment, explore tasks. So for example, we can ask them to make tasks, questions, and the answers, and they will deliver it in a very short time. The next one, we move on to about the research. Now, what is the purpose, methods, and findings of the research? The purpose is to explore how is AI being used for ALT and L. And there are three things. The first and second point, geographical, analytical study trend, and educational level of studies give us the context of these studies, and is it actually practical for us to use, especially in Indonesia, in Asia. And then the third one, benefits and challenges of using AI in ELT or L. So I think this is pretty straightforward, what can we get, and the challenges. The next method, this research used a mixed method called quantitative and qualitative method. Quantitative method to collect the data so that we can understand the trend pretty clearer than just qualitative data. And then here, qualitative data is used to explain how AI is being used in ELT or L, so it will give a more thorough explanation. articles. So those who are peer reviewed, not just standalone journals. And the articles from the last 10 years. And this one, 43 out of 369 potential articles are reviewed after inclusion and specific assessment. So meaning that there are actually a lot of research about AI, a lot of them in the last 10 years, but only 43 research is used because one other reason. For example, one research may be pretty similar to the other, and one research gives benefits, one research do not give benefits, and yeah, etc. So 43, all those that includes all these aspects. Next one. Now the finding. Geographical trend is seen the highest in Asia, mostly in China, Taiwan, and Japan. Now this is understood because as a non-native English speakers, we have to keep up with the development, with the standardization of English as an international language. And especially China, Taiwan, and Japan, they have a different rating system, so it will be harder for them to follow up with English. So there are a lot of research done in that area. So I think this is also something that can relate to us because we are also Pacific Asia, and English is not our first language as well. And the study trend is with upward since 2018. I think it's because, not I think, but the book thinks is because there were a trend during COVID. There were we transform our teaching method not only just in offline environment, but also online, but mostly online. So there is a high rising during 2018 until Tuesday. Now for the age group, the higher education got the most studies, 28 studies, and we are here in ICE. We are the secondary school and SMA, senior high school. So they only got 6 studies, but this high study in higher education is the factor is not only just because there's no data, but because the researchers have more access to those in higher education because they are from the higher education themselves. That's why they don't really use the secondary school as the data. But as we see here, actually our context is also included as a secondary school. Now next. Now we talk about benefits and challenges of AI in ELT. The first one, so there are 5 benefits in AI that's found in the study. Speaking, writing, reading, pedagogy, self-regulation. There is no listening skill because subjectively speaking, listening is more or less straightforward. We give the audio and then the students do the task based on the audio. But these ones, these skills need more like assistance in its teaching method. The first one, speaking, from Liu and Hong. They use spectrogram. Spectrogram is like when we listen to music and then there is waves of volume. Now, by understanding that volume, the different volume, and compare it to their own production, they can reduce the flatness of speech, of pitch, and intonation patterns in pronunciation. So they can match their volume to the example. So they know where to put stress, where to unstress the syllables. And then the next one we have Bizo and Pam. They use Alexa. They promote meaningful interaction, support vocabulary acquisition, improve language skills, and provide interesting and enjoyable learning. So because I mentioned previously, voice assistant, we can talk with the almost native speaker better than by ourselves with our own accents. And then Fakumar et al., they developed their own AI tool called iLeap. It is an AI coach tailored instruction to each student's learning patterns and needs, resulting in the ability to speak more fluently and using consistently accurate language structure. So it's more like this one is actually a prototype, so they don't give it to public. But what they do there is they prove that a coach, an AI coach is beneficial to personalize the student's need in the study. So we can give them better materials, better technique that actually can be accepted by each of the students. So it helps us to create a more personalized module for the student. Next one is in writing. So neural machine translation program by law, they say enrich vocabulary for specialized and ambiguous expressions. So I think this one writing is the most, let's say, something that we think writing using AI. Is it cheating? Is it something else? Will it be beneficial for the students? But it turns out there are several techniques. So for example, Law use neural machine translation program. So Law use some kind of Google Translate that will be Amazon, and they input the first language to the second language being English. They input the first language, and then the neural machine give the translation of the first language. Now the translation here gives more like specialized and ambiguous expressions. For example, the word sad is an ambiguous translation. It is ambiguous because it is something general that we just say sad to cover a lot of things. Maybe disappointment, maybe we feel sorry, maybe we feel empathetic to our friends. We just use the word sad. That's why it is very familiar. But it does not enrich their vocabulary. Now, using machine translation, neural machine translation, the machine gives more specialized words that they can use in their writing. So, for example, they can use the word empathy, they can use the word disappointment without using general ambiguous words like sad or happy like that. And then, generally, I think we have all familiar with it. It is used to reduce grammatical errors, enriching lexical variations, and improving efficacy. So Dijon and Gate here use Grammarly to train the students on how to actually make writing a good essay, not just give instruction how to use essay, what are the steps and structures, but actually Grammarly gives a good example of how to make a good essay. That's why by training the students with those vocabularies and the structure, they can make their own version of their writing better without actually depending on the Grammarly itself, because they have trained themselves, because it's the skill, not actually the knowledge. And then we have Google Translate. Now, instead of seeing it as bypassing language learning, it helps producing essays with greater number of low frequency, meaning less repeated words, complex words, and higher quality syntax. So it's similar to Low's study. The next one, Zhang et al. Use World of Warcraft. I think those who have played games. And this is new games that actually not very new, but this is a popular game among students. So with this game, they provide contextualized settings for vocabulary learning and providing engaging and dynamic study environment. So when we feel like the students, well, when we are in class, I think it is something familiar for us as well. They are not engaged in the class. What are they going to do when we need them to understand new vocabularies, and they feel like, how do I use this vocabulary? If this decontextualized vocabulary without context, vocabulary and meaning. But by using this game, they actually use the vocabulary itself. Whether or not they know the meaning, they know how to use it. So by then, they learn to adapt to the environment, and they know the meaning by the time. And the next one. Now this one is pedagogy by Kim. You use ChatGPT for TOEIC preparation. So ChatGPT gives lectures, explanations, and practice tests at the level required by student based on the data input. So in this study, the student gave the students are given certain that they need to input to ChatGPT. So can give some kind of structure what they need to input. For example, what are the words they like, and then they are given a text, and what is the main idea of the text, and what can you infer from this text, and then from that the ChatGPT can give a more personalized as well module for the students, like the planning, what will they have to learn, what will they have to improve. So it is very effective. And then for we et al, they also develop their own application. It's called Learner Generated Context-Based LGC AI API for distance education. So this is only for distance education. So learners are provided with learning materials or modules based on their activities and choices, resulting in some autonomous learning experiences. So for these two, in pedagogy, AI is used in personalizing the modules for the students, the teaching technique, and also the materials that the student need. Because unlike other subjects, English, everyone starts different at different pace. Some students got it as a native speaker because their parents speak English. Some students got it in the first grade. Some students got it in the fifth grade. Some students even only started in junior high school. So their proficiency varied greatly. So with these tools, AI help the student to understand things in their own way, in their own pace. The next one is about self-evaluation. So mostly it's for distance education. So you et al use chatbot by setting achievable goals according to students' capability. So this one is also personalized learning as well. And the next one we have voice assistants. So it's raised students' English skills and lower anxiety in interactions. So with this tool, voice assistant, they use Alexa. The students are required to talk to Alexa and record it, and then give it to the teacher. Now, these interactions with voice assistants, for our students, I think we all can relate to it. Some students feel like, I cannot speak English, then I will not speak English. Now, with voice assistant, it helps them to feel more ease because they are not judged, because they are machine, they are against machine. They don't feel like they are not enough. Maybe my pronunciation is bad, but voice assistant is more neutral. So they feel less anxious when talking with voice assistants. And I think that's it for the benefits. The next one we have the challenges of using AI in teaching. So these are the four categories. There are four categories of challenges using AI in teaching, especially language teaching. So the first one is going to break down. I think this one is very much happening here. Technical malfunctions, for example, the electricity, for example, the connectivity, and all the things that relates to technology. And then also this one, incorrect answer. So what if the AI gives us incorrect answer when we train students with AI? Now this is when human interaction, us as teacher, is needed in this space, because we can correct the mistakes made by AI. Now this limited capabilities, chatbot capacity. So some chatbot have like paid version, so they are not accessible to students. And then unnatural interactions. So this happens in the previous study about using voice assistant to alleviate anxiety. So when the student talk with the voice assistant, they feel less anxious because it is a machine. Now, if it is moved to person, can that result, the same result we can get from with with the voice assistant? Will they also still be anxious when they talk to a human, or is it only happening in machine with the machine when we talk with the machine instead of with the human? Now this is also where we as teachers role come into play, because then we provide them with the natural interaction. So they don't have to depend solely on AI, but we are there for them to help them to have this natural feeling of conversing with people. Now here, personal data privacy. This one actually, I think this is important for us to know what kind of application that we use, because some applications, maybe we get it randomly on the internet, they collect the students' data. So we have to look deeper into what kind of app that we can use. And then unclear AI operation procedure. This gives the ethical background of how the company is processing the data. Do they steal content from other people? Do they steal other people's writing to build the students' writing? And then losing natural learning environment and real emotion. That's why there is as well natural interactions. And then language and identity standardization. So this is very much in with our culture. So who are the people behind the standardization of English? Is this the same people who have more power, or will these people with power minorize other cultures, so that the culture will be less presented? So this is something that's harmful, that can be harmful when, for example, for the when we go to the university, we have to get TOEFL, and then we have to get IELTS, and then we have to reach the standardization made by those in power of the world, those who speak English. Now, those who are not the native speaker of English are at disadvantage, because they have to learn more, they have to give more time to learn these skills, while it is not their natural language. And that creates a gap in some of the people who already know how to use TOEFL and IELTS. They get to a good university, and those who cannot, just because they cannot speak English, even though their skills in other majors will be as good, maybe better than those who can speak English. Those who cannot speak English cannot get into the good university. So it also limits their their career perspective. So this is something that actually a global issue. Now the next one, we will talk about the practical implications, the evaluation and practical use. So this study shows that we need to equip English language teachers with AI knowledge in training provision and continuing professional development programs. So instead of shying away, instead of making it a taboo to use AI, we have to be trained in how to actually use AI and how to not be left behind with this development. And then the second one is to analyze the rationale behind why particular pronunciation models are better from others, and who determines choice. So this is similar to the case with English as an international language compared to the other languages that are being minoritized politically. And then to improve teachers and students' digital literacy, I think this one is also going hand in hand with AI knowledge. And then to develop the regulation and ethical alignment, and mostly how to protect our data privacy. So I think these are all the things that summarize what we are talking about today. Yeah, I hope we can all learn from this particular application and how to actually use AI in English language teaching in particular.
Okay, guys, that's a beautiful delivery. amazing. Saya, thank you. One applause again for our We agree that AI is such a hot potato issue, right? There's never like endless perspective that we can dissect and discuss about AI. If you follow our IST, you can say that there's a lot of previously materials that a lot of teachers said about AI from science, from math, and now from English literature review. That's very interesting. There's no such IST if we don't have a discussion, like a section. That's why I would like to, maybe it's like a food without MSG, okay? We have to have discussion section. So first of all, maybe I would like open our section today, maybe in Zoom, there is
No.
question, or do you want to
Informal
invite?
first.
Oh, inform first, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe all our coaches and have some teacher today that attend our IST. You want to ask or rebuttal? Oh, sure, Mr. Shakir first.
Yeah.
Sure.
You have to.
Yes, our gentleman today.
Oh, gentlemen.
Sure.
Thank you very much. Yeah, again, Ayu.
Also then, Mr.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Ayu, for your presentation. That was one of the presents. Actually, it's very usage was especially for institutions because actually I can have two benefits for us for supporting our administrative needs and also our improve our teaching skills. And so actually I am interested to have you ever maybe my first question, have you ever tried to create such as like prompt? Because creating a prompt in the AI such as like ChatGPT is such as like art. Especially for in the future, we need to be creative to create prompt in the ChatGPT for creating a good prompt and also get the best results. The best result, the results based on the ChatGPT. So my second question, do you have any suggestion or maybe idea how we can create a good prompt? That what are the contents should we create in prompt to get the best result for the ChatGPT or the other AI tools. So it can help us in administrative media, and also it can help us for improve our teaching skill, as we said just now, is for supporting pedagogical skill. That's very important. That's my question. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's the representative of gentlemen. Now, the representative of our ladies in here.
Let's go. Ladies.
You want to give a suggestion maybe or a question? Anyone want to say anything maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, our representative like
Our gorgeous lady.
Maybe I want to ask for Miss Ayu. When I was student, I usually use my Duolingo for improve my English speaking skill. But for in Duolingo, kan this AI application for we need to increase our English speaking skill. Yeah. but I feel that the result is so different, so different. When I learn using Duolingo, yeah, and say in daily activity, yeah, it's so different for me. Yeah, I feel like that. So maybe any like other application, yeah, like that, but can like real, like really, maybe any. I have one application like what's the name? I forget it. Like flu or what it is. Yeah. It is like real. So you can say like conversation with AI. Yeah. They give me some question and I real can answer the question. Maybe you have suggestion for another question like that question can use for students because I like in English speaking class. Yeah. This is my student that it means I want to learn using application to improve my speaking English. Yeah. Maybe you have any application for that. I give for like Duolingo and Duolingo, but maybe another application for
Thank you, Miss Heidi. Maybe there's someone else maybe want to
Answer first.
answer first. Okay, so Miss Heidi, I would like to recap our question to you. First, for our gentleman, Mr. Shafif. Yes. So the question is about, have you ever created a prompt? And can you give a suggestion to make a proper prompt to be administrative? Because this is related to us. We want to search something but don't know how to convey what we are searching for. That's why. That's the first question. The second question is from Miss Henny. So Miss Henny said that she ever used Duolingo, but for daily language it's a little bit not match. Miss Henny, one suggestion. Ask your suggestion that is there any interactive application that more relate to our daily use? Because once again, I'm related to, I ever use Duolingo. In 10 section, I only talk about egg and bread. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. I want to answer the question from Mr. Said. Have I ever used prompt to make like teaching plan or like administrative tasks? Yes, I have. So what I do is that maybe this is not the very best way to do it because I'm not really a program engineer, but I know a little bit about the difference between to generate image and using prompt to generate text. So to generate image, I think it needs more detail because in image we have visual aid and what color maybe and how much of the lighting and etc. But if text, I think that is just what the neural used also by the neural translation machine. So one word can relate to the other words. So because of that system, I think it's easier than making prompts for pictures. Now, why I compare these two? Because for making text, I think what we have to do is to make it as detailed as possible. Because every teacher, every class, every student have different needs. So to standardize, for example, what kind of class and how many students will there be, and what is the subject, what are the subtopics, etc. It very depends on the style of the teaching and what we will be doing in the class as well. So make as many detail as possible. That's what I've been doing. And for the structure itself, I think the machine can get what we want to do without giving like the first one is this, first one is this. Unlike image generator. So I hope it helped answer the question. Thank you very much. And then the second question from Miss Amy about using Duolingo. I actually for a non-distance learning, I don't really recommend using Duolingo because it is an adaptive learning method. The Duolingo is very standalone practice, so they have to practice by themselves. But yeah, the restriction is that they are not equipped with the Duolingo is not equipped with our own context, because Duolingo is made by people in the US, and the context is more like generic to them than to us. That's why we cannot really relate to them. That's I think that's one of the things that I does not really recommend if we want to use Duolingo in room teaching and offline teaching. But in online teaching, also, I think that is good for those who are learning English in the very basic level, elementary, or like those who are still learning vocabularies. And then I think that's it. For recommendation to what AI can be used in teaching students, I think the more personalized one, Google Assistant is better. Like Alexa, we converse with them, or there are some other tools as well, like translation. For example, if we want to improve our students' writing, we can ask them to go to there is a website called Plot Generator. So we ask them to they have to learn the structure of the story. For example, like the introduction, and then the rising, and the climax, and falling, and then conclusion. So they have to make the structures first, and then they can generate a whole story. So from that, they are trained to how to make the structure and how to connect all the structures. So it needs because it is an offline learning, it needs a lot of our own touch in their learning process as well. So if they want to do it by themselves, I think it is better to for them to find out what really works best for them. Do they want to use resources from the YouTube, or do they want to use resources from like the translation? What skill they want to develop? Is it writing? Is it reading? Is it listening? Then they will actually use like a whole different platform for that. Yes.
Okay, that's a very good answer from Miss Ayu for Mr. Shahid. So our
There is
challenge.
still a 5 word plan. Yeah.
Okay, so go on. Let's go. Okay,
Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Miss Mai, for the time. And then for Miss Ayu, I'm really excited and amazed with this session because you like promote AI in detail. Yeah. And then there are a lot of AI that something new with me. I didn't know anymore previously about Alexa and etc. about that. So I just know the Google Translate actually. So really, I give a strong attention to you for this session. Really, thank you so much for giving me a new insight related to the AI. So my question is, we talk about teaching, right? We talk about teaching. So the object is a student actually, AI itself, by the students. So is there any discussion related to the impact of students' character in the teaching that is AI in this journal that you present? Or maybe you can have analyzing by yourself that maybe will change. We use this AI for this one, what's character that we must aware to use AI that make impact or effect to the student's character. They can change to worse or something that occur with their character. That's the one. The second one, what is the precaution or limitations or something that must have a strong attention for the teacher to use AI in the teaching, especially in language teaching. So I think that's alright. Because yeah, we talk about teaching, right? So yeah, we must talk about the student as well as the object of or the target in our activity or in our strategy this one. Thank you so much. That's all.
Okay. Wow, that's a very. I just want to let you answer the question. Well, it's not.
For the first one, thank you very much for Mr. Maslow for the question. I think this is something that I'm also still learning to adapt to this new technological advancement. For what are the risks that AI, maybe like the benefits and the risks of AI for the students' character. I think what's good is that it has been mentioned here, it reduces students' anxiety to use to talk in daily life, and it also helps students to self-regulate so they can solve their own problems. But also the risk, I personally will think is that they get too dependent on using AI. So when they, for example, when they write something, they cannot write it without thinking, I have to use AI. So when I have the access to laptop, I will open AI because my result will be better with AI. So that's, I think this also answered the second question. What we need to, what precautions that we need to develop to mitigate the risk of AI use for students. So I think we have to pay attention to their patterns of using technology itself. So for example, we are aware that when the students use laptop in schools and then we teach them, give them materials and they cannot focus on the materials because they are focused on our laptop. So I think by mitigating the risk of AI is mitigating the risk of technology itself. When they have access to technology, meaning that they also have access to this advancement, but because they get this gratification very instantly, sometimes they forget that it is not the sole purpose of their knowledge. And so what we need to implement is that we use AI to teach them skills, not to give them just the knowledge how to use AI, but to teach them skills on how to make their own, to solve their own problems, or make their own sentence, or pay attention to their own pronunciation, not to just instantly, I can make a good writing if I use AI, but with the help of AI. So not using AI to make the writing, but using AI to learn how to write. So that's, I think, that what we need to implement to our students.
Okay, let's move to our audience in Zoom meeting. Today we already have one question. I'm sure AI will definitely be useful, but isn't AI actually a threat to the foreign language teaching profession? What is your view on this? Can you directly answer the question from our audience in Zoom?
Thank you very much for thank you very much for the question. I think also something that we feel like, well, as I said previously, AI is something like a bull. Can it replace teachers in classes? I think as we have discussed previously, AI cannot be the sole teacher because they are prone to imperfections, they are prone to errors, and they are very much not as contextualized as us. So we, as the teachers, especially living in the same environment, we know what the student needs and what are, for example, example, the context of what's it called? The context of the conversation, and so that the students can relate to the real life more. But AI does not have that because they are just machines made by someone else in some other place unrelated to us. So yes, it is something that very concerning if we let AI take our job. But AI cannot do as good as us, as the students, as the teachers in real life, because we have the context of the student needs and environment. I hope that, but in the future it's more interactive and more smart. Yes, I think this is also something that AI is very developing into, being more smart and more contextualized. But again, also students need a natural environment where they can converse or they can produce like writing or pronunciation. So yes, AI will develop, but also AI is a machine. It cannot replace us as the natural, as the ones who actually have natural interactions with the students. So they need that natural environment to practice their own English skills, because skills is not something that they know, but something that they learn. So they learn it from us with the help of AI. I think that
Okay, thank you, Miss Ai, for all the answer that you gave for today's question. Because I think, let me close our question section today, because we already have a lot of things that become new insight for us, right?
Yeah.
So we already know. Let me recap about what Miss Ai delivered today. First is from what definition of AI to what kind of things that can enrich English teaching, English literature, English language teaching, and what's the challenge, even how to make a good prompt, what's the good application that can help us to teach our learn and in daily speech. So let me close it with a quote. As optimistic as I am and Miss Ayu, I believe that AI cannot replace human, because even though AI in the future become more prominent, more advanced than this, I believe that we are as a modern human who prone to and more have a survival instinct, also more adapt, more advanced rather than AI. Because what? AI is a tool. We are a user, so that's why. Rather than worry about AI become a threat, let's ensuring what we are building is enabling for human flourishing. So thank you so much for the teacher and staff and audience in everything to join our IST, last IST in 2024. I'm very optimistic. Let's wait for next year, IST 2025.